How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another X-Plane 11 stream. Haven't been on here for a little while, so we'll get things moving. We're on the ground here in Inverness. This is from our last episode from our UK series. We flew down from Stornoway. We're using the real weather, which, as you can see, it's not very nice, but it's dry for the moment, so not too bad. The airport here is a default airport from the org. We'll turn our music down here. So, how have you all been doing? We haven't been on this there for a little while. So we'll get a quick read of our weather. So what we have: wind 240, 10 knots, visibility is 30 kilometers. Our sky cover, few clouds at 3000, overcast 19,000, temperature 8 degrees, dew point 4 degrees, and our altimeter is 3009. So not too bad. We're using Orbx True Earth Great Britain North. We have our new scenery loaded in, and it does look fantastic. Really happy with it. I've been waiting so long for it. I had like this UK series thing of Majig pretty much on hold because there was no point using just ortho when you have Orbx here. So really happy to have that. And the stream tonight, we're going to be showcasing the new Aerobask update, the E1000, which is the G1000 variant. So with that said, let's jump down to the plane. And here it is. Kind of a funky looking plane. It's the body, or the fuselage, is very similar to that of a Cirrus. Interesting aircraft, this thing. It's an American single engine 6-seat turboprop light aircraft, currently under development. And I'm almost certain it's the manufacturer. I think they're a Russian company. It's powered by a Pratt & Whitney engine, and it's pretty much cool looking. These things cost in the region of about $3.5 million. But I have to say, it's great having turboprops like this in X-Plane. So we're well used to, say, the PC-12, the E1000 Skyview, which was the original version of this, all the way up to the TBM, and now we have this one, the updated one. And hats off here to Aerobask. They've done fantastic work. It's just a better looking model. The dynamics have all been updated. I think the aircraft itself has just been completely reworked. Just fantastic sounds. The G1000 works very well, and it just looks awesome. Have your normal menu down here with Aerobask. This has all been revamped, so you have access to your weight and balance with your fuel. You can add in passengers, and if you click them, it'll add them in. So you see them there. You can add in some various weights. You can carry cargo. You can have your GPU. We'll hit that now in a couple of minutes. Some of the options that you have: so your breaker reliability, all to do with your inline fuses, and that'll dictate how well maintained or how old, if you like, the airframe is. So we'll just leave it on this. It's perfect. We're basing this as a new aircraft because it is a new aircraft. You can enable a touchscreen version on the G1000. That's really handy. We'll go through that there now in a few minutes. Anything with FPS problems with your system, if it's slowing down a bit, you can turn on or off the reflections, be it on your instruments or on the windows. The sounds, a full sound menu here, self-explanatory. You enable sounds and speech, all your various volume levels, and then just about. So I like the new option menu. It's fairly easy to follow. The color coding, everything, it looks nice, and it's well fitting. So I do like it. So with the exterior model, it does look fantastic. There's great detail gone in here all around the wing, the individual rivets. The color scheme, I just happen to like this one. We have our our weather radar here on one side, and the lighting is pretty cool as well. So we'll hop in here into the cockpit, and as you can see, the modeling work and texture, it's beautiful. Really nice in here. And it's so spacious, like the cabin inside this aircraft, it's huge. So we'll ramble around. There's lighting down here as well. At night time, this thing is class. So I picked this up about a day ago. Really happy with the purchase of it. Those of you who bought the original E1000, this comes with a discount. Just check your email from your original order. I do like it though. I have to say, it's we talk about high fidelity aircraft and what Aerobask have brought into X-Plane. I've all their aircraft. I love them. They're fantastic, great developers. Plenty of updates. Their communication's always fantastic, and this is a work of art. This is just fantastic. It's really nice. So, with that said, our flight today. We'll get over to our little plan. So, we're on the ground here at Inverness, and our plan is we're going to fly down to Aberdeen. And we're just going to put a direct to route on our GPS, and we're just going to have a look at some of the scenery. The weather, as I said, it's broken clouds at around 3000, so we'll probably just go in between that and the next layer to see what we can see. We'll probably change the time of day and mess around with it. So our flight that would have originated up in Stornoway up to the northwest, straight down to Inverness, we're going to go across to Aberdeen and just have a general look around the place. So what we're going to do, we can get rid of our static elements, close up the door, try that again. Cool. So some of the views that I have set up here, I still use the SciTech gear, so you'll hear clicking and switching and all this good stuff, but I can talk you through it. So we have down here a fuel tank, or a fuel tank selector, and this little dude here, that's your park and brake. So we'll go to our left tank, and we're going to go for our battery on. Some lights here so we see what we're doing. Standby alternator can come on, that's just on this switch here. Starter gen is on. Beacon light is coming on. Turn on our navs. Relatively straightforward to start this aircraft. Have a quick look around, see where we're at. You have a door indicator here. Once we get our avionics, all this good stuff powers up. And we can mess around with our prop and throttles and everything else. So, prop to full, mixture rich, about a half, even quarter of an inch on a throttle. No keys or stuff like that. So what we're going to do, fuel pumps can come on. Our tank is selected. Check around to clear the prop. So we'll get our igniters on. You hear them clicking away. And we can go for start. There's some sounds up here for you. Good start on our engine, igniter's off, fuel selector will go to auto. Avionics can now come on. Trim on, pressurize. Pitot heat can come on. Get our inertial on, window heats can come on as well. We have all our fuses here, they're all modelled. Leave our pumps on for the moment. So, a couple of things just to get ourselves familiar with the aircraft. So, we have settings here for our lighting, which, if you'll see on some of the other streams I've done, it's so hard to find a dimmer switch on these things. When you're flying at night time, the G1000 is very overpowering. So, delighted we have a little switch here. So, we can leave them on full for the moment. Leave our lights here. So, these are our cabin overheads. And leave them off for the minute. Okay, so with this touchscreen, as I was saying, or you can just use the roller screen on it, we're going to put in our altimeter, which is 3009. So if we have a look here, a couple of ways you can do it. Usually you'd have your barrow lever or roller knob over here, but if you highlight over, you get this icon. You can just roll this, which is cool. Set 4,500. Transponder code we'll just put in 4100. We're not following any particular flight plan, so we'll worry about all this momentarily. Over here we're going to do a flight plan, and we're going from EGPE over to EGPD. So we'll roll back here to get rid of that. Can we go back further? Clear. Enter. Clear. Enter. So we want to go direct to, we're in Inverness, so we want to go up to Aberdeen, EGPD. Echo Golf. Papa Delta. Activate that. We'll have a look. Again, you can use the rollerball, real handy. The map, get some weather radar up here. Turn this on or off, depending on night or day. Terrain, as your height increases, depending on what's around you, the red goes to yellow, then to green or no colour. So all this looking good so far. Go outside now if you want to check on some of the sounds. It's very nice. Alrighty. Set our barrow down here as well. 3009. We're all set up. Parking brakes are on, leave them on for the minute. Flaps, will mess with them shortly. Okay, so what we're going to do, our taxi from here, come along this way, straight up, and then out. So you can see from the weather it's not too bad. It's so-so, it's not too bad. So we'll give it a bash and see how we get on. So tap the brakes. Brakes coming off. I've noticed quite fast taxiing on the ground. But we won't need to worry too much about that. Pretty much just leave it in beta as we're crawling here around the ground. So I've been kept really busy the last couple of weeks. We've had the new released X-Plane 1130. A number of aircraft have been updated. We've seen the new aircraft being released. There's a new Spitfire out. That's really hard to fly. I've been messing around with that. Just Flight's aircraft, their entire fleet, have received an update only today. I've been messing around with them as well. So we'll probably include them in a few videos coming soon. TBM got an update. So there's been plenty of stuff going on in the world of X-Plane. We have all this wonderful new scenery. You know, the Orbx stuff is just fantastic. So we're looking good here. Bring our flaps down. Really don't need them for the length of the runway, but we'll put them on for the crack. Great sounds in this thing. Sounds fantastic. Alrighty, get ourselves lined up here. We're going to aim for 4,500 feet. This plane has so much power, it's ridiculous. Okay, get on the centre line. Advance the throttle. Lights, flaps, everything set. Bring our power up. Power set. A nice shot of rudder on our takeoff here. Nice gentle lift. Positive rate, gear coming up. Watch your speed here. Bring our flaps in. Get our yard dampener on us here as well. Quick look to our left and right. Looking nice so far. Start our turn here to the right. We're going to aim for about 4,500. I'm usually a big fan of the steam gauges, but I have to say, as you know, the more these aircraft are coming out, the more modern ones, I am liking the G1000. Still have to figure out all the approach and departures and all the procedures and stuff, but you know, it's working fairly well. One thing I've noticed as well is I've read up on the forums, you know, for getting different performances out of X-Plane, and on my system, you know, everyone's system is different, but on my system, since 1130 has come out, I've turned on threaded optimization in the NVIDIA control panel, and I've actually seen a huge increase in frames, which is crazy because I've always had it off and it's ran fairly smooth, like, but now I've turned it on, I've gotten 8 to 10 more frames, and really happy with it so far. Autopilot on, follow our nav. We'll go vertical speed. The speed of this thing is ridiculous, it's so fast. Great fun. So we'll see what the autopilot does here. I was messing around with this earlier on and it wasn't behaving itself the way I thought it should have. Oh, it's doing good. So we can probably slow ourselves down here. We're just coming up to our cruise altitude, which is not high, and we can see nothing. Although we'll see. That's a little bit better. So this fantastic scenery from Orbx, showing off Scotland in all her glory. I've been over there twice now. I was up in over to Edinburgh, and we went up to, where did we go? We went up to the, is it the Falkirk Wheel? I need to look into that, but basically it's up the north-ish of Edinburgh. I think it's called the Falkirk Wheel. It's basically a rotating boat lift. So you have your canals that are feeding it, and If you Google it, you'll see it. The Falkirk Wheel. It's an impressive piece of engineering. It is a rotating boat lift, which connects the Forth and the Clyde Canal with the Union Canal. So I was up there, but Inverness and going up to the Highlands and all, they are the places I really want to go and visit in Scotland. And if they're even half as good as what Orbx are showing here, it would make for some stunning trips. And you're going to Scotland, whereby the weather's going to be like Ireland, probably only worse, so rain jackets are a must. Anyway. I have to say, performance-wise at this plane, it's really gentle on the frames. It's not a big resource killer. It just looks really nice. So it ships with a number of liveries as well. Depends what you're chasing. There's Canadian, American, English, German, and a handful more. But everything here is functional. Like, it's the level of detail. You're not going to be surprised when it's Aerobask. Like, they really do a lot with their planes. They have an awful lot going on. So everything from your G1000, the onboard computer, everything from the air conditioning is here. You can pressurize the cabin. Jump over here, let's see what we got. So fuel pumps, leave them sit, leave the gens on, batteries are on. As I turned off the pumps, you probably got a notification down here say your pumps are off. That's quite alright. Our tank should be on auto select, which it is. This button here is just for changing your views out on your computers. Cabin oxygen. What else we got? Oh, we have a tablet down here as well, hidden away in the pocket. And this guy is either your AVI tab or the options from this little guy down here. That's super handy. The AVI tab or the AVI tab, it's a plugin you can get, really handy. Over here you can adjust your sounds. This is also interesting because you can adjust the engine sounds or the ambient sounds. I like that, that's real handy. So we're not far from our destination. We'll keep an eye on what's going on outside. So far so good. Speed's okay, 150 knots, we'll hold it at that. We're about 15 minutes away from our destination. We could speed this thing right up and we'll be there in a couple of minutes, but where's the fun in that? So with the Skyview version of this, the older version if we call it, I put a fair bit of time in it. It was a great fun plane to fly. You have another menu here. It's the little things. So let's go exploring. It's on autopilot. So you'll see the texture work. These lights all work. You can use your rollerball and turn them on or off. The New York Times. Looking out into the wonderful Scottish countryside. Really nice. What we can do actually, we're about halfway during our flight and there's probably not much to see, so we'll bring our time back here a bit. What's our time local? 10:30. So as I was saying, with these, that's just fantastic. You have your ground light here, and again you can just turn on these guys here just with your rollerball on your mouse. Some nice views outside. It's wonderful, kind of a blue tint. Real nice. Just a nice place to sit, really, isn't it? What's it like from the outside? Cool. Get our own overheads turned on here. So, what do you guys think? It looks the part, doesn't it? If you're on the fence about this, you can't go wrong with Aerobask. That's my opinion. They're fantastic planes. A lot of care and attention goes into them. There you go. with these settings, as I said, it's only a matter of hovering over using the rollerball on your mouse. But you can turn all them off if you want. Your settings are over here into options, and you can turn them off. So it enables the MFD, so you have a keyboard working as well. Now it says it's experimental, but I reckon it'll be good to go. Flight plan, it's only a matter of typing in the stuff here, but we'll leave it be. And again, all these click out as well if you need them to. Close that. So, not far now from Aberdeen. Look at the scenery, it's fantastic, isn't it? Really nice. I was looking at a video earlier on YouTube, and a guy had a comparison between X-Plane and real life. And like, apart from like real fine details, do you know, like say the texture work on the nose of the plane, or even one of the windscreen wipers, it's so close. Oh, well, the clouds, but apart from that, it's so close. It is amazing. How about a night approach into Aberdeen? Why not? So, Aberdeen on the horizon. Get these guys down a bit. Make for a compelling shot. That is pretty. .155 knots, about 5 minutes away. Turn back on our fuel pumps. I left my lights on. Fail! It's the most important thing for any sim pilot. You must look after your lights. Then again, we are under 10,000 feet, so that is our that's our reasoning, if anyone asks us. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a right turn here shortly. Heading bug, zero that. We're going to head south. And we'll turn on heading mode. Just to get us lined up nicely with the airport. So we're heading to a place just outside of Aberdeen. I think it's called West Hill. Plenty of traffic moving. That's Aberdeen on the horizon. Orbx has it all looking fantastic. Very nice. Left. Bring our altitude down to 2,500. Over to our autopilot. Descend at 800 feet a minute. Bring our power back. We'll be getting ourselves lined up here with the runway shortly. Does look pretty, doesn't it? That's cool looking. So we're at 2,500 feet. Stabilize our speed. So far so good. Turn left heading 100. runway. Another 20 degrees here on our left. Speed is good, height is good. Okay, so we're going to plan to disengage our autopilot and bring our speed back a small bit, start our turn to our left. Bring our flaps down a bit. There's the speed coming off. Small bit of an overshoot, but we'll correct that shortly. There's 100 knots. Landing gear coming down. Three greens. Make sure our yaw dampener's off. Bring our flaps on full for landing. And just trimmed out a bit. Aberdeen out to the right hand side. Really nice looking. Very immersive, like the plane is doing its thing and then the scenery is doing its thing, and it's really, really good. Well impressed with this. Touchdown. Let's bring our reversers out onto idle. Try and stay on the center line as best we can. Manual braking, keeping in the better range, just around the corner here. Get our landing lights off, leave our taxi lights on, bring our flaps in. Welcome to Aberdeen. Looks nice. Usually I would go over this direction. But we want to stay close to the lights, so we'll go up beside this guy over here. Taxi lights off. That'll probably do us. Park and brake on. Engines out of beta range. Pitot heat's off. Get our fuel pumps now off. Trim coming off. Avionics off. Strobes can come off with some of our lighting here as well. And mixture off. Nice. Get the door open. Cool, welcome to Aberdeen. And the rest of our lights off here. Probably go for our static elements as well. And the engines completely shut off, which they are. Battery off. And that's it. So guys, that is the Aerobask Epic E1000, and it has the Garmin G1000. Really solid aircraft. It's cool. Again, the modelling work, even the little things, like if you listen very carefully, you hear the oil dripping back into the sump. It's pretty cool. Like it's you know, a new developer will come along and just think of something just so small and so simple, and just the level of immersion it brings to aircraft. And it's, you know, it's great to see other developers pick up on that. It's no different than what A2A brought in with the avionics by tapping the glass. It's great to see it, and it adds to the end user. It adds just so much immersion. So that's it, guys. Really hope you liked that video. kind of short and sweet and pointless and to the point. But I'll be on shortly enough. We'll do another couple of videos with this aircraft. This is going to be used quite a bit because it's just so much fun to fly. But also with Orbx True Earth, Great Britain North. It's fantastic scenery, and it's a monster in terms of its size, but it's just fantastic. Really like it. And there's a heap of new Orbx airports coming out as well. Really looking forward to them. So until next time, take care of yourselves, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And yeah, Murphy's Law. Just as I finish the stream with people coming in. Hey Jody, thanks very much for stopping by. We'll have another couple of flights here maybe later on this evening or in the next couple of days. But yeah, until next time, guys, do take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching. Any comments, whatever, leave them in the section below. And I'll see you real soon.